Well, let's talk about Fort Detrick Baylor.
Welcome back to Empath Nation. I'm your host, Dr. True, and this is part 11H1211. You know, like Congress does when they rewrite laws. It's difficult to understand.
HR 6666.
11. That's right. 11 teens produce more energy than 12. What? How's that possible? I don't know. Alright, where do we leave off? Nitro, you slamming back beer or what you drinking? What you getting crunked on? Corona? Oh. Woo!
That's my shit, man. I had to stop it because I'm on keto.
he was like, no virus is gonna stop me from drinking my shit. I got you right here. I drink vodka. I don't drink viruses, but what?
Well, I ran out of my rum and my liquor store got looted, so I couldn't get any shit. I was like, well, what the fuck? So I'm gonna
what the fuck? You should have went out there early and got some free liquor. What? Yo.
Well, that's what he said.
You guys, I want to ask you a real deal question, right? Now, today, I went to the gas station, right? And, yo, Baggy, don't laugh. Right? And, okay, so there's been a lot of new people working at my gas station lately, and there was a new black guy that I've never seen before work at my gas station, and I walk in, and I don't want to be racist, but I know what I said. I walked in, and I go, you look like a rioter. I don't know why I said it. I don't know why I said it. I said, you look like a rioter. And he laughed, he didn't say nothing, and then I had to fix it. I was like, well, the truth is, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to go, but I was high, and I forgot. And in my perception, free shit is free shit. I don't care how it happened, alright? I wish I was there. So if you were there and you got some free shit, you outdid me, you my boy, right? So after I paid for my shit, no lie, he goes, much respect, brother, and gives me props and leaves. I'm like, damn, he got free shit. He bet he got free shit. Fuck, I missed out. I fucking missed it. I can use like 10 generators right now for free all day. They're like $500. I want to buy 10 of them. Shit.
I think you missed out. If you was there earlier, he probably would have hooked you up.
I did miss out. I did miss out. I told Becky. Becky goes, in Greenville, there's going to be a protest on Saturday and Sunday. I said, Becky, it's going to break out into all violence, and shit's going to get popping. We should go down there and loot. We should just sit in the car and wait for the riot to happen. It's going to happen, and we should loot. And you know what we did? We stood home and watched Netflix. Fucking Netflix. You know what I'm saying? I was so upset. And then I can lie, because time just blends in with me. Monday morning shows up, I'm like, rioting happened in Greenville on Saturday and Sunday. I'm like, damn it, Becky, we missed it.
I had the opportunity.
We missed it. I had a list. We were writing down a list of things that we needed so we get a Walmart and shit and get it for free. Ugh.
Oh, shit.
For real. Nobody got arrested. In any of these scenarios recently, they may be getting arrested now, but I don't want to loot now. They got live rounds.
It's too late. You missed out.
I did miss out. I'm very upset about this. Oh, they're like, you're a guru. You can't be looting. Fuck that. I got 2 legs that run as fast. I could be looting.
Your karma thanks you.
My karma thanked me. Oh yeah, because I just have so much of that lately going on in my favor.
Well, I'm sure it could be worse.
It absolutely could be worse, but as a powerful enough empath, even with negative energy, it's easy to manipulate if you know what you're doing. However, I prefer not to manipulate the negative energy because collectively it just fucks me worse.
There's always a cost for the negative energy.
That's the only problem between using negative energy between positive energy. There is always a cost. Unless, you know, you're doing you're sacrificing 10 children. The cost is their lives, not your life. But I'm not down for that. But here we are.
Well, that's also why they all have other people doing that.
Can't talk at the same time.
I was going to say the problem is positive energy comes back to you positively, but negative energy is like a rubber band effect. You can keep producing negative energy and it won't come back, and it won't come back, and it won't come back. But the rubber band will stretch and stretch and stretch and snap back and pop your ass real good at some point in time.
Buzz it wide open. Buzz it wide open.
Wow. Scientifically, energy, as far as negatively goes, there's two types of electrons. There are certain type of electrons that does produce what we call negative energy that changes the reality of minds and hearts. But the second energy that electrons produce is what we call matter. Your physical existence wouldn't exist without electrons holding you in place. So different type of atoms, well, really the same atom can produce different effects. The reality in this particular scenario is the collective atoms that create negative energy involves perception, not only for the individual but the collective. For example, if my perception that murder was healthy and good to eat children's little hearts, when I do it, I would actually receive positive energy. That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't care what you say. That's a fact. However, the collective energy for all the individuals that were involved with that child's life being destroyed early, their collective negative energy will expand the rubber band and eventually collapse. Now, as far as the Illuminati is concerned, or higher perception, or science is concerned, there's ways to delay that. There hasn't been a way to figure it out 100% to change that, other than what we call sleeves. Or,
they've been delaying it since the 1800s, so their time is now.
Well, if science, as an Illuminati perspective, can actually create a physical sleeve that you can transfer your consciousness into, then karma would actually skip over you. Karma affects the physical well-being, not the spiritual. If your transfer of your consciousness from one body to another, and if that is a possibility, let's be real, that could very be well a possibility. Doesn't exist for 1,000 years. We just don't fucking know about it.
Already doing.
Well, if you look at the Rockefellers, a lot of times I've seen many pictures over time. They're like, that's the same guy. They're like, no, that's his grandson. No, that's the fucking same guy. He's got the same bone structure, looks a little different skin-wise, but the exact same bone structure, the exact same mentality.
What if they're just time travelers?
Well, that would affect reality differently. If you know, okay, so for example, as far as time travel is concerned, time travel doesn't work like many people think. If I were to change time right now in this reality, 2 multiverses will be born. 1, where the reality is where you didn't change reality, and 2, where you did change reality. So therefore, everybody you talk to, everybody you know, everybody you love is the exact same person, but from a different reality. So they're not your family, but they are in connection vibrationally to you. Every time someone would change time, it jumps reality. It has to phase out. If it doesn't, collectively, atoms will implode on themselves, and then therefore reality wouldn't exist. Therefore, that's never happened, because we wouldn't be talking if it did. So therefore, the only other answer is, every time someone's changed reality, they born a new reality. So if I was in 2015 and I went back 100 years and then I came back to 2015, I wouldn't come back to the 2015 that I'm aware of. I would have come back to the 2015 that I just created life to. Now, because conscious energy exists in all reality no matter what, there will be eminent effects. Eminent effects would be what is that called? That guy's theory. Mandela theory. The Mandela theory of kicking basically
effect.
certain things about history won't add up. Like, for example, everybody will remember the book Bear-Sign Beers, not Bear-Sign Beers. You know? It's two different words, slightly changed a little bit, but a lot of people remember a specific word and not the other.
The mirror on the wall.
Well, you gotta understand that, like, most people can't accept this reality. In my perception, to talk, we exist in an Earth prime. Now, I'm not saying that the Mars or the Jupiter or the Saturn or every other fucking planet next to Earth is a prime. But this particular dimension, this Earth, is a prime. That basically means every Earth that exists beyond it is because of this Earth. Every decision that exists is because of these realities. So they coexist in each other. If Earth prime were to go, or Mars prime were to go, or Jupiter prime were to go, that means every planet that has ever been born from it in the multiverse would go extinct and simultaneously. The original source energy cancels out the rest. We are Earth prime. Most people, you can't even comprehend what that even means. Earth prime is the original source of an entity. Each human being actually not only affects their reality, affects trillions of realities simultaneously. That's what we call the multiverse, or parallel planes. We exist in multiple realities. Only because we're a prime. If we weren't a prime, we would just basically be another Earth in the collective of a prime. A prime just simply means original source. So, for example, to talk on a higher perspective. If this is Earth prime, and we fall into a deep trench of negative energy, every Earth afterwards would exist the same level of energy to some degree because of us. So, if there was an entity, like you, whatever the name you used earlier for those entities, I'm sorry, I forgot. It's whatever. But if that entity, no, listen to me, Nitro, to talk. If that entity existed, it's feeding on trillions of lives. Trillions. Beyond what this world can never conceive. If this world has 9 billion, and there's infinite worlds that each have 9 billion, there's trillions of lives being absorbed, being affected by this reality. Because we are an Earth prime. That's it. In a multiverse.
It's called the demiurge.
Okay, the demiurge. But still, an Earth, a prime planet cannot exist without being a prime planet. For example, if we were on Earth, let's say 929, our existence wouldn't exist. Everything that's ever happened on our planet wouldn't exist without Earth prime. If you remove Earth prime, you take every outsources with it. Collectively, that's a lot of power. If these beings did exist, I'm not saying they don't.
I don't understand why one is not equal to the other ones. Why would the prime cancel out everything else? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, well, look at it as a reflection, a mirror. If you break the mirror, does it still reflect?
Yeah, in pieces.
It does in pieces. But okay, so if I'm standing on a mirror straight up, let's put it that way, and I smash it, the pieces fall to the ground. Then the billions of reflections that come from that are pointing up in an opposite direction of reality, pointing into whether sky or darkness is the best phrase for it. Dark matter is what we call it. It's now pointing into dark matter. If it's pointing to dark matter, it's going to reflect dark matter. Dark matter is simply nothing. It's collectively, thoughts can't even be processed in dark matter. As far as spiritual beings are concerned, dark matter is the ultimate prison. Thoughts cannot form in dark matter. The reason why is there's not enough positons to actually produce a thought. Hey, look at a fan. I see it. Turn it on. You know, that's the fan I wanted to power my generator. I ain't gonna fucking lie. Side note.
I hear what you're saying, but you have to consider on the physics side of things that energy isn't destroyed; it's just changed into a different form.
Yes.
So
yes.
It wouldn't necessarily erase a certain reality.
No.
It would maybe manipulate it it wouldn't maybe negate it. It wouldn't like destroy it per se. It might transform into a different form.
Yeah, I will agree 100%. Energy cannot be destroyed. However, it can be shifted. So let's say the prime energy source or thought frequency that controls collectively many multi-Earths is primarily affected. Then the primary effect of energy will affect every reality within it. That's what we're talking about. As far as lives are concerned, wiped out clean from the Earth, I feel like if you look at X-Men Infinity, they just, in a sense, vanish. The only difference is the world knows about it. In this sense, you wouldn't know about it. Your daughter vanishes. Your love vanishes. You wouldn't be aware of it unless your consciousness is at a high enough level of acceptance to perceive what's happening and accept it. If your mind can't accept it, then what happens? It collapses on itself, and your mind makes new reasoning. This is why this happened. This is why that happened. This is why this happened. This is why that happened. For the collective muggles, they don't comprehend. But for us, who can perceive the changes, let's be real. Anybody who I've ever believed who was involved in the Mandela effect had a higher level of consciousness to a certain degree to notice the difference. The reason why we don't have common sense anymore is because no one notices the difference.
So speaking of the difference, what is
Two people talking. Raise your hand. Who's talking? Go ahead.
What did the evil witch say to the mirror on the wall? Yeah, I'm OCD.
All right. So she said, the mirror to the wall. Mirror, mirror, I see some shit. What do you want to tell me?
I asked you a question. I want you to tell me.
She looked into the mirror and said, mirror, mirror, I see some shit that's... And then Beauty comes up and she's like, hey, nigga.
All right, John, what did the evil witch say to the mirror on the wall?
Mirror, mirror on the wall. What do you see? Huh?
John.
Huh?
What did it say on the wall?
Say on the wall.
You tell me.
No, this is a test of the Mandela effect. What did the evil witch say to the mirror on the wall?
What did the who say to the
You know about Snow White, right?
I can't hear you.
What did the evil witch say to the mirror on the wall?
Correct.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the most beautiful?
Fairest of them all.
Most beautiful of them all.
Okay,
No, not fairest. She didn't say fairest. She said most beautiful of them all.
No,
Anyway.
the most
Well,
fairest.
that's just what I was coming up with at the time. I
The
couldn't.
Mandela effect said some people say magic mirror on the wall, the other ones say mirror on the wall. Just like what you're talking about,
Mirror,
bears eat bears, it was STEIN versus STAIN.
52.
Interesting.
And then you got the Oscar Mayer, and there's a whole bunch of others.
Wait. Hold on a second. 1 second.